Let us see how to improve the string efficiency. Methods of improving string efficiency. So there are three methods. They are using longer cross arms, capacitance grading, second one, and the third method and effective method is static shielding, or it is also called as guard ring method. Okay, these three are the methods which are in general used to improve the string efficiency. Let us go for the first one, that is using longer cross arms. If we use long cross arms, the value of the K gets decreased, thereby decreases the shunt capacitance called C1. If this C1 gets decreased, then the shunt currents obviously gets decreased, okay, because it is V omega C. As C1 gets decreased, this I1 decreases, then the currents called I1, I2, I3 which are passing in the self units will be same, so that I1 is equal to I2 is equal to I3. If at all if equal currents are passing through the similar units, then voltages across them will be equal, so that string efficiency will be the ideal value almost 100%. But the problem here is, to make the currents equal among all the units, we have to decrease this current I1, which is possible with decrement of C1, shunt capacitance. This shunt capacitance C1 can be decreased if and only if the K gets decreased. How to decrease this K? K is decreased by increasing the length of the cross arm, which is not suitable and preferable because it is not an economical method. If the length of the cross arm is increased, then the tower structure gets increased. If the tower structure gets increased, then obviously the cost of installation gets affected. That is why this method is not used frequently, even though there is a chance. Okay, for a very high voltages, that cross arms method, increasing the length of the cross arm method is not preferable. So the first one is a rarely used method. And coming to the second one, that is capacitance grading. The name itself says that objective is to make the voltages across the all units to be same. Okay, whereas we can't make this current to be as equal, means we can't avoid this shunt current called I1. With this shunt current availability of I1 and with unequal currents of I1 and I2 and I3, whose magnitudes in general will be I1 less than I2 less than I3. So for such a type of unequal amount of the currents in the shunt branches called self branches, still the voltages can be achieved equally among all the three units. In our example, there are three units, by grading the capacitance, using this second method. In this second method, in general, the procedure is the unit which is nearer to the cross arm, its capacitance will be selected with the lower value, minimum value of the capacitance is selected whose unit is nearer to the cross arm, and the magnitude of the capacitance of those units gets increased so on whenever we are reaching towards the live conductor. Therefore, for an line unit, what is meant by line unit? The insulator that is nearer to the conductor. So this line unit will have maximum capacitance. Let me call this as a CA, and this is CN, nth capacitance which is nearer to the line unit. The magnitude of this CN in general will be selected as a larger value. Then let me calculate the string efficiency for such a type of capacitance graded method. So for that purpose, let me take an example having an tower structure which is grounded Therefore, this is the symbol of the grounded tower structure. Using with a limited length of its cross arm. Yes, this is the limited length of the cross arm based upon economical conditions. And next, here also in our example, let me take the n number of insulators. First one, second one, third one, so on. X point, x plus 1 point, and is extended up to the line unit called nth insulator, and it is the conductor operating for a voltage of V volts. So because of this, there is a shunt capacitance formed between the link point and earth point, like this, so on up to like this. Let me call this as capacitance nearer to the cross arm is called as CA. Capacitance next is called as CB. So on. CC. This is CX. So on. This is CX plus 1. And this is nth capacitance. In this second method called capacitance grading method, the units are selected such a way that these capacitances are not equal, and the unit which is nearer to the cross arm is having lesser capacitance, and the unit which is nearer to the line conductor having maximum capacitance. And these are the shunt capacitances which are formed in between the link joint and tower structure. So because of this, there are different currents that are passing called as, this is IN current and this is small in. Okay, and this is I1, I2, I3, IX and IX plus 1. This is INth current, and these are the currents of IX plus 1, IX current, I1 current, I2 current, so on, like this. I1, I2, I3, and this is IX. Previously it will carry IX plus 1, so that this is IN minus 1th current. Okay, so this is about this. And at a point called xth node, let me analyze. So because of this capacitance grading, whose magnitudes are selected such a way that CA magnitude is less than CB, less than CC, so on up to CN, whose values are lesser. Then, since the capacitance magnitudes are like that, the voltages against the units will be same, small v, small v. For this reason only we have graded the capacitance of each unit like this, like this. So there are totally NV, V plus V plus V, like that n terms are there. Therefore NV is the voltage which is to be string voltage. Okay, let me write for the xth node. At the xth node, applying KCL at node X. The incoming current to that xth node, IX plus 1 is equal to sum of leaving currents, capital IX plus small ix, capital IX plus small ix. Then what are the magnitudes of these currents in terms of voltages? If you check it, the magnitude of current Ix, what is the magnitude of current Ix? It's a single unit current against a voltage of V volts with a capacitance of Cx. Then I can expand this Ix as V omega Cx. V omega C is the formula for the current. So capital Ix plus small ix. What is small ix? Yes, this is small ix which is passing through the shunt branch, and the voltages what you can observe here are, this is the node voltage and this is the earth. In between those two the current is passing. Then with respect to this xth node, the ground is having with V plus V plus V plus V so on xv. Then the voltage in between this node and the ground is xv. The same voltage is applicable here also. So that small ix can be written as xv omega C1, where C1 is the shunt branch capacitance that was existed between the link points and the ground, which should be equal to Ix plus 1. What is Ix plus 1? Yes, this is the unit carrying a current of x plus 1 current against a voltage of V volts with the capacitance of Cx plus 1. Then I can write that Ix plus 1 as V omega Cx plus 1. Cancelling this omega value and V value on both sides. Then how to grade the capacitance? The grading of the capacitance is done such a way that Cx plus 1th capacitance value will be equal to Cx capacitance value plus, as V omega get cancelled on both sides, we will get this as X into shunt branch capacitance. This is the way how to grade out the insulators with the basic formula that Cx plus 1 is equal to, before capacitance called Cx, plus X times to that of shunt branch capacitance called C1. This is the magnitude how to grade this insulators. But we can achieve the 100% string efficiency, or we can improve the string efficiency using this method. But the drawback is we have to maintain the stock of different capacitance materials unit, because we don't know which unit may be failing. So if they are similar units, maintenance will be easy in a reservoir, that is in a stock. Okay, so replacing the failured unit with the same unit of capacitance is very difficult if you grade these capacitors in this fashion. That is only the drawback with this capacitance grading. Of course, the string efficiency may be improved, but the drawback is in the stock we have to maintain more number of units which are having different features. Okay, so such a type of maintenance is difficult in the case of this capacitance grading. So to avoid that drawback, in general we go for the third method, that is called as static shielding method or gartering method, which is a familiar usage method, will be discussed. Coming to the third method called static shielding method. Or gartering method. The name itself says that the string efficiency operation can be improved by using a gartering or static shield. So in general the diagram will look like this, consists of our general notation. This was the earth tower with zero potential, and this is the cross arm which is again earthed, and these are the insulator material units. In general there are n number of units, and here this is the conductor operating with a voltage of capital V. Let me call that capital V as small n into small v, because there are n number of units. Out of all these n number of units, each unit is having a voltage of V volts, so that NV. In order to have the voltages to be equal among all the units, of course we know that there is a shunt capacitance that is formed in between the link point and the earth, like this. All these are the shunt capacitances in our notation. Okay, since the capacitances used here are, let me assume that this is of a C value of the capacitances, C, so that this is also C, equal amount of self capacitances are provided. Okay, and next this is shunt capacitance C1, like this, and next to improve the currents, if at all if you check it, the voltages across them will be maintained to be same, like this, V volts. All n number of units are having equal voltages called n into V, total voltage. In order to get this same voltages across the units even under the presence of this shunt capacitance, what we do in general is, to this live conductor we will connect a shield like this, which is operated with a voltage of NV called as capital V, so that between these two at this link point again one more capacitance is located or observed to be formed like this. These are called as shield capacitances, which are named as CA, CB, so on, CP, CP plus 1, and here C nth capacitance, because n units are there. Okay, and the amount of the currents will be same. Let me assume that this is of a pth node, P node. At P node we are going to analyze, so this voltage across each unit will be same like this, small v, small v, small v, if and only if the currents carrying them is same, but the currents are deviated in terms of this shunt branch currents. As we know that they are of small I1, small I2, small I3, so on. As this is a pth node, this is small ip plus 1, and so on like that. There are small in minus 1 currents, like this. These are shunt branch currents. These shunt branch currents are compensated with this shield capacitances, means this side we can get a current so called I1 dash, which will compensate this I1. This side we will get a current called I2 dash, which will compensate this I2. So because of these compensations, the current passing through the self units will be same. Okay, means n capacitors will carry the same amount of current because of this shield capacitance currents. Like that, here the current is IP dash and the current here is IP plus 1 dash, so on, IN minus 1 dash. Those are dash currents. And next, this is capital I1 current. Of course, it should be equal to here also. Let me take it example of I2. Of course, these two magnitudes are same. Okay. So, like that, in the third capacitor, there is a current called I3. Here, current in. So, as we know that this is I1, I2, this is pth unit. Therefore, it should carry a current of IP. This is P plus 1. So on happens for all. This is IN minus 1. And this is nth unit carrying a current of IN. Of course, all these capital letter currents are to be maintained same. That is I1 is equal to I2 is equal to I3, so on, which is equal to IP, which is equal to IP plus 1 holds good up to IN. Like that we have formulated because of the compensation currents which are provided due to shield capacitance. Okay. Let me analyze by writing the KCL at node P for getting exact magnitudes. Okay. So at node P, what is KCL? At node P, KCL is sum of incoming currents is equal to sum of leaving currents. The incoming current towards this node is IP plus 1. This is IP plus 1, and this is one more current that is passing, IP dash. These are incoming currents to that node. Sum of incoming currents must be equal to sum of leaving currents. What are leaving currents? Pth unit current carrying IP and this shunt branch current carrying small ip. Yes, this is the KCL at that node P. If you can identify the magnitudes of these currents, then the simplification part is completed, which improves the string efficiency. Okay, and also we'll get the magnitude of the formulas, how to maintain the shield capacitances to improve the string efficiency. As I told you, IP plus 1 is equal to IP, means this magnitude of currents both are same, so that they can get cancelled out. And finally, IP dash is equal to IP. This is the condition to be maintained or condition to be fulfilled in order to improve the string efficiency. Let me write the magnitudes of this IP and IP dash separately. Check out this magnitude of IP. Then what is current IP? which should be equal to voltage into omega into its capacitance. Then what is current IP? Yes, this is the current IP. Okay, means the current passing through this node to earth. The voltage existed between them should be known first. The same earth is maintained here to the cross arm. So from this node to this cross arm, the voltage available is P number of units are there. Each unit is having a voltage of V volts. Then at this node we can observe PV as a voltage. Therefore, P into V is the voltage between this node and cross arm. Cross arm is extended to the support structure also. Therefore, between these two, the node voltage is PV against a capacitance of C1. Then omega into C1 is the ohmic value. So current IP is equal to PV omega C1. PV omega C1. And next in the next line I have to write the next magnitude of the current called IP dash. IP dash, which is equal to, what is IP dash? This is the magnitude of IP dash. Okay, this IP dash is passing against a capacitance of Cp. This is the shield capacitance. This is the shield capacitance having a magnitude of Cp. Then how much voltage is there? If you check it, this is reverse of the remaining thing, means V up to here this is a PV. Actually how much voltage is there? NV. Okay, NV voltage is there. The remaining units are N minus P are the remaining units, because the voltage maintained here is to be maintained first. So N, this is NV voltage, and this is PV voltage. PV voltage. Current passing from NV to PV. So that higher potential minus lower potential, which is equal to N minus P into V. N minus P into V. So IP dash is equal to, the voltage available is N minus P into V, NV minus PV. NV minus PV can be written as N minus P into V times that of the capacitance available, omega Cp. Omega Cp. As per the equation, these two magnitudes should be same. Then I can write them as N minus P into V omega Cp is equal to IP dash is equal to IP. What is IP? PV omega C1. Cancel the terms. VV get cancelled. Omega get cancelled. Therefore, the shield capacitance Cp is equal to P times that of the shunt capacitance divided by N minus P into, N minus P is the value because we are getting Cp. This is the magnitude of the formula which is to be maintained for pth node in order to compensate this IP dash with IP, so that all same units will carry the similar currents producing the same voltage V volts against the similar units. If the voltages are equally distributed, no doubt the string efficiency will be improved. Okay, these are the various methods which are used to improve the string efficiency. So let us observe a mathematical problem, how to calculate the string efficiency. This is an insulator string having 3 units. So it is made up of with 3 units, and the safe working voltage of each unit is 15 kV. The ratio of unit self capacitance to the stray capacitance of earth is 10:1. Calculate maximum safe working voltage and string efficiency. So let us solve the problem. Yes, coming to the given data. It is a string of 3 insulators. Then the figure looks like this. First insulator, second one and third one. Now it is a string with conductor, and this is a earth tower with 3 units. First unit, second unit and third unit. So this was the stray capacitance. Two stray capacitance can be observed, and the voltage against this is identified to be V1. Against the second unit is V2, and the third unit is V3. Yes, these are self capacitances C. These are stray capacitances C1, and we know the relation C1 is equal to K into C. Therefore, the ratio of self to the value is given. Therefore, K is equal to C1 by C, which is equal to 1 by 10. Value is 0.1 given in the problem. Ratio was given as ratio of self capacitance to stray capacitance as 10. Since it is reciprocal, 1 by 10. Therefore, it is equal to 0.1. K value is 0.1. And the safe working voltage means maximum working voltage occurs at line unit. That is V3 was given as 15 kV. 15 kV. For this line voltage, V3 is equal to 15 kV and K is equal to 0.1. They are asking us to calculate the string efficiency, and also entire operating voltage capital V is equal to how much? With the N, number of units as 3. This is the formula. Then what to see? What to use here? This is I1, this is I2, and this is I3. The leakage currents are, shunt branch currents are assumed to be small I1 and small I2. Then we know the formulas for V1, V2, V3 ratios. That is V1 by 1 is equal to V2 by 1 plus K. Just now we derived in the previous theory session. And V3 by 1 plus 3K plus K square. This is the formulas. We know the value of V3 and also the value of K. So that I will use this ratio to get V1 value. So mean to say that V3 is equal to V1 into 1 plus 3K plus K square. Let me substitute all the values. 15 kV, which is equal to unknown voltage across the first unit V1 times that of 1 plus 3 into K value 0.1 plus 0.1 square. Simplify for this and get the value of V1. 15 divided by entire polynomial. You can get a voltage on calculation as 11.45 kV. Let it be equation 1. And using this second ratio, we can get the voltage V2 also. That is, V2 is equal to V1 into 1 plus K. Okay. So just now we got V1 11.45. I will use here, and K value is also given in the problem as 0.1. Then I can estimate the magnitude of the voltage across second unit called as V2, which is equal to 11.45 kV into 1 plus 0.1. In estimation, you can get this V2 voltage as 12.59 kV. As I told you, magnitude of V1 will be less than V2, will be less than V3. Out of these three values, the unit which is nearer to the line conductor will have more voltage. In general, its value is given as 15 kV in our theory, given data. So, more voltage is there for the line unit. For V2, we got a voltage of 12.59 kV, this much less compared to this. And this V1, we got the magnitude as 11.45 kV, like this. So, our theoretical point is valid here. Then we got all the voltages across the three units, which are of course similar units but subjected to different voltages. Then the operating voltage capital V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. That is, capital V is equal to V1 value. Yes, its value is 11.45 kV plus 12.59 kV plus 15 kV. Summation of all this gives us the entire magnitude of the voltage, whose voltage is equal to 39 kV. Once knowing this entire magnitude of voltage across the string, then you can estimate the string efficiency. The string efficiency is equal to total operating voltage 39 kV divided by number of insulating units 3 into voltage nearer to the line unit. The voltage nearer to the line unit is 15 kV, is to be multiplied with 100. Yes, then we can get this string efficiency as, in calculation part, 86.67 as string efficiency. So they asked us two values. They are calculation of string efficiency and operating voltage. Therefore the entire string operates with 39 kV with total voltage as V1 plus V2 plus V3, 39 kV, and string efficiency it is operating with 86.67%. This is about one model of problem. Let us see the problem on a string, methods of improving string efficiency by static shield method. Let us go for the problem. Each of the three insulators forming a string has a self capacitance of C farads. Means it is also a problem related to string having 3 units. Each unit is having C farads as a self unit, and the shunting capacitance of the connecting metal work of each insulator is 0.2 into C to the earth. Means the shunt capacitance existing between metal link point and earth is 0.2 C and 0.05 C to the line, to the same metal link point, and the line called shield wire is forming a capacitance of 0.05 C. Calculate the voltage across each insulator as a percentage of the line voltage to the earth, and also calculate the string efficiency. So with this given data we can approach to the problem for improving the string efficiency. Let me take that as this. Let me take this as the insulator. This is the tower. This is the tower, and this is the cross arm, and we know that there are 3 insulators in the string, and this is a metal link point, this is a metal link point, and this is the shield capacitance, and this is the shunt capacitance formed against another node, and shield ring. This was the shield capacitances provided, and this is P node, this is Q node, and in the problem they have given that this is 0.05 C, 0.05 C, 0.2 C, 0.2 C, and this is capital C, capital C, capital C, and the currents are I1, I2, I3. This branch currents as I1, I2, this current as I1 dash, and this current as I2 dash, and the voltage across the first unit is V1, second unit is V2, and the third unit is V3. With this we have to estimate the string efficiency. So KCL at node P, KCL at node P is given as sum of incoming currents I2 plus I1 dash, which is equal to I1 plus capital I1. Coming to the currents, capital I2 is equal to V2 omega C, and next small I1 dash. Small I1 dash is this is the current formed with 2 voltages as V2 plus V3 omega 0.05 into C, and next small I1. Small I1 is this current having a voltage of V1 omega 0.2 C, and capital I1 which is equal to V1 omega C. Substitute all these values, then what we get is omega C get cancelled in all the terms, and we get this equation to be as V2 plus I1 dash. I1 dash can be written as V2 plus V3 of 0.05, okay, which is equal to small I1 V1 into 0.2 plus capital I1 as V1. Rearrange the terms. Rearranging the terms, this equation will become 1.2 V1 plus 1.2 V1. Bring this V2 to this side, then you will get minus 1.05 V2 plus term is going to this side, becomes minus 0.05 V3 is equal to 0. Divide this expression with V3, okay, so that 1.2x minus 1.05y is equal to 0.05, where x is equal to V1 by V3 and y is equal to V2 by V3. Okay, let it be equation 1 for our simplification in the next stage. Okay, in the same lines, if I write the KCL at qth node, this is qth node, then I3 current, which is equal to V3 omega C, sum of incoming currents, plus I2 dash current, which is equal to V3 omega 0.05 C is equal to sum of leaving currents. The leaving current here it is V1 plus V2 is the voltage against omega 0.2 C plus the capital I2 current. The capital I2 current is V2 omega C. In all sides omega C get cancelled, and the final term that was left over is V3 plus 0.05 C. Then I will write this as 1.05 V3, okay, minus 1.2 V2, right? This is 1.2 V2, V3, V2, V1 term is minus 0.2 V1 is equal to 0. In the same lines, let me rearrange them. Divided by V3 if I took it, then I will get this equation as 0.2x plus 1.2y is equal to 1.05 is our second equation, where small x is equal to V1 by V3, small y is equal to V2 by V3. This is x and y values in our expression, and the two equations are 1.2x minus 1.05y is equal to 0.05 at node P, and 0.2x plus 1.2y is equal to 1.05 at qth node. Simplifying these two for x and y, we get the magnitude of x as x is equal to magnitude of x and y can be simplified here, and we will get the magnitudes of x and y as x value is equal to 0.71 and y value is equal to 0.757. In our analysis, we know that x is equal to V1 by V3, which is equal to 0.71, implies that V1 voltage is equal to 71% of V3, where V3 voltage is assumed to be V volts. V3 voltage is assumed to be V volts. And next, V2 by V3 is equal to, as we know that V1 is equal to 0.71 into, let us rewrite this for further simplification. V1 is equal to 0.71 into V3, implies its ratio is 0.757. V2 is equal to 0.757 V3, and we know the total voltage V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. This is the total operating voltage, capital V. Thereby, we can write this V3 as V3 in terms of V1, V3 in terms of V2. So, X and Y after getting this, we can simplify for X and Y. We can simplify for X and Y as yes, V1 plus V2 plus V3, thereby operating voltage V is equal to V1 0.71 V3 plus V2 0.757 V3 plus V3. Summation of all these three gives us 2.467 into V3 is the V value. Then what is V3? V3 is equal to V by 2.467, which is equal to 0.405 V. That is, V3 is equal to 40.5% of V. If you substitute that V3 here, then we will get V1 as V1 is equal to yes, this is the value, 0.71 times that of V3. If you simplify that in terms of percentages, we get the magnitude as 28.7% of V. In the same lines, if you get V2 is equal to, yes, this is V2, which is equal to 0.757 into V3. Substituting this V3 value here, then we will get this V2 in terms of percentages as 30.6% of V. This much amount of V1, V2, V3 you can observe. Calculating for the string efficiency. The string efficiency is equal to total operating voltage, capital V. Capital V voltage is 2.467 into V3 is the total voltage, divided by number of insulators 3 into V3. Therefore, the string efficiency is equal to V3 get cancelled, and if you multiply it with 100, we will get the percentage as a string efficiency, whose value is equal to operation of the string efficiency value is equal to 2.467 by 3 into 100 with an approximation of 86.7%. This is the string efficiency improvement which was calculated for the 3 case studies.